So now you're reacting to a R&B solo artist named Crush.
He's real pretty.
He's very beautiful. And his 2018 song called None. However, okay, so in English it's none, but actually in Korean it means you. He continues to sing directly to his former love, and in this perfect post-breakup anthem, Crush sings about all the ways his life is meaningless without her.
Get ready to be alone.
I'm so ready.
Heartbeats.
Yeah. Heartbeat is the original music.
Okay, it's actually making a beat. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, because it's like 16th notes. Da, 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 da.
Oh man, here we go again.
Oh no.
I like it. I like the intro. It's nice and chill and like very inviting.
Okay, there's only this style of music is so specific to American culture, but this is actually very cool. I really like this.
His voice sounds a little like raspy and maybe a little damaged, but it's R&B, so it's okay.
He's also got a bit of jaw tension for affect.
Man, he's got some control up there.
Yeah. That falsetto.
'Cause he's not singing like very strong, you know? So
Yeah.
like, as a male, to be able to control the notes like that, that's pretty friggin' impressive.
It's definitely a falsetto thing.
Yeah.
But like, not everyone has that strong of a falsetto.
Yeah.
Consistent of a falsetto, I guess is what I should say. Now it gets lower. Oh, this is so sad. I feel sad.
Wow.
More acapella, dude.
Yeah, but it's all him.
Yeah, it's multi-track. That's what you
That's
want. That's how you.
insane.
That's how you want it.
Yeah.
I mean, who better to blend with you than you? You know, like of course.
The heartbeat is stopped too.
Yeah, it's like, that stopped my heartbeat because the heartbeat in the music stopped and I was like, oh my god, they're just singing!
This section has different chords, and I really like how the first chord is a tritone below or above the tonic.
There's like a slight reharm going on here.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. This sort of departure from the, it's like, it's a reharmonization of the same arpeggiated notes. It's got different notes in the bass. That's very cool. That's cool when you're making a transition section. You have a ghost.
Wow.
Wow. He lets his voice get soft enough and breathy enough that it just like almost breaks. Like, I like how that adds emotion.
I imagine this is like the darker side of the song, I take it.
Darker, more emotional for sure.
I don't know the words, so hard for me to know, but
Oh, interesting. That's where he ends it.
yeah, I'd imagine that's what it is, right?
Yeah, it's funny that it leaves it at that note because usually most songs end with some sort of resolution or like some sort of hopeful,
Yeah.
thing to cling on to. He doesn't. And then it just fades to black.
Yeah, it's just a lot more dissonant. It's definitely musical in that way.
Yeah. One thing was interesting too is like when it got more towards the end, like some of the instruments that were accompanying him kind of backed off, which is really cool. One thing that struck me about this song that was really interesting is like I feel like a lot of K-pop songs or just like pop songs in general, even if they're dealing with darker themes, will still either in the bridge or some way maybe at the end have some sort of climax where things get more loud. While there was rises in dynamics and stuff like that, it was really nice to hear a song where the intensity increased maybe towards the end, but it didn't have to resort to the whole like, oh, we're gonna build it you know, only for it to get loud and then resolve. It just stayed where it is, which is really cool because I mean, like his whole, like the emotions that he's feeling, they're not really resolved. He just feels the same way. And maybe you could make an argument like with the way it ends in the lyrics, feels even more so that now. So that was kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a very virtuosic vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
He really knows how to work on different sections of the piece.
The texture of the piece, I was just like visualizing. It's like you have this really low bass. It's almost like a heartbeat, and then the other instruments you have in the very beginning, it just unravels with this nice chord. It just springs open and just allows people to just like, wow, look at that, a rolled chord. And then throughout the whole piece, you just have rolled chords. It's so inviting, the whole entire atmosphere, and you just have him just floating along on the ether. But yeah, it was such a nice, he's such a great vocalist. So I have to plug Crush really quick because Crush was in KCON LA, and he did this song on the first night, this weird club bar event, and it was a smaller stage, and he did this thing where he started a song and like the instrumental started, but it only played the intro, and he did the entire song a cappella. And that was the moment when I realized that this guy,
He's very good.
yeah, because he sings live just like that.
Dang.
Yeah, he's a note perfect. And now let's go to the piano, and I will show you the Crush chord. So near the end of the song, we have this chord that I don't know. It doesn't fit any studies that I have in my brain. That was really weirdly worded, but we have an A bass. We have this F half step in between, and then we have a G here. We just learned the Crush chord. Let's make it a thing. We call it the Crush chord, okay? And then it goes like here or something like that.
Wow.
I like when singers do that very like breathy thing, but it also like just, my throat hurts for them. Put some air into your vocal cords, please. That sounds like it's uncomfortable. Yeah, no, I made the comparison with Debussy because like Debussy's whole style of composition was to say, why do we have to have harmony that resolves places? Why can't we just write things that sound good to our ears? Why can't we just write music that sounds beautiful and pretty?
He didn't.
Yeah, and so he just wrote these like eternally spinning, like nebulous, ethereal pieces that are so gorgeous to listen to, and that's kind of the vibe I got here with like, you know, every chord was a seventh in some way or extended, and so it just kind of kept going and going and floating, and I really liked it. Yeah.
It's a very American style of writing. It stems from jazz music and R&B music specifically, and its adaptation into like the sort of hip-hop electronic world, more or less. That is the thread that I have always seen. Those are the mutual genres I have always perceived. And so a lot of times when that is imitated in K-pop music, it feels a little bit forced. This did not feel so. I thought it was actually really nice.
Like, I really enjoyed the song. Like, the music was really good, and it was a very well-written song. His voice was sort of, I don't know, it just sounded, there was something bothering me about his voice. Like, maybe, I think it was the raspiness, honestly, but...
It really fit the style. His voice really fit the style.
But I was like, oh, you're hurting yourself.
Well, there was certain tension. Like, he chewed a lot of his consonants, if you notice. If you watch singers and basically just look at how their jaw works when they're singing. Like, I wanted him to just take his fingers and be like, okay, you're gonna put them right here. And see how well you can sing without moving your jaw, or moving it as little as possible. Because there was just so much accentuation that it really felt like he was holding a lot of tension there to kind of control that timbre, control that line, as opposed to having the control and support be from his diaphragm and from his breathing mechanism.
Yeah, he was also really singing off the breath, like not really.
Yeah, and it's just, I worry about how sustainable that is, because it's not, and it's not like he was like screaming any high notes or anything. He was doing mostly in falsetto when he went up, which is fine, but it's just gonna lead to problems later. I feel like if he was more on the core of his voice, he would still be able to attain a sound that he wanted in a healthier way.
He's a really good singer, and you kept mentioning that like breathy quality. I think the reason it was so delicate and so breathy was he seemed to be sitting like at the very, very, very top of his chest, like right before it breaks and goes into falsetto, and he was pretty like adept at switching back and forth when he was doing like runs and stuff. You couldn't really hear it, but he was at that very top of the chest voice where it gets really breathy and quiet and kind of intimate and beautiful.
Because when you're between head and chest voice, you like can't really tell which one you are if you sing softly enough.
Yeah,
like if you just let it be breathy, then
and
you can transition.
he stayed that way throughout the whole song.
Yeah.
And I think it communicated the emotion really, really nicely. Yeah. And just, you know, the vocal agility stuff too. And
I love that he let his voice kind of like break in a way, like toward the end it was so soft that like, it was almost like, oh, is he gonna get sound out? Oh, he did. He manipulated his tone to get the emotional character of the music
well,
really well.
It's like that wilty sound.
Yeah.
That when singers like him that are that good, that's an intentional choice.
Right.
That he chose to let his voice break and rasp a little bit to communicate the emotion of whatever he's singing about.
Yeah. That was beautiful and so lovely. And like, I mean, I knew he was like really attractive, but his voice is just, it's just so pure.
So
like,
pure. Anybody can say I'm an R&B artist and like sing over some like super extended harmonies and like do whatever. No, this guy actually like finessed the shit out of that. Like that was really good.
I like how you just censored yourself by saying shit.
Hello everyone, I'm Umu and I'm the channel runner of ReacttotheK. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you're curious about the videos that we'll be reacting to in the future, I put a link to a doc with our release schedule in the description. Last but not least, if you'd like to support our channel, you can help us out by pledging any amount you would like on our Patreon. On Patreon, you can get access to full unedited pair reaction playlists, reactions to Japanese releases, and much more. And of course, a huge shout out and thank you to our superstar patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Bye!